Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. Today I'm going to be reviewing and kind of sharing my impressions. The lighting in here is going to be awful, but you know, it is what it is. We got to do what we can. Of the GameSir G7 Pro. For those of you that have been kind of following along, I had a Scuff. I can't even think of the name of it right now. Envision. I had the Scuff Envision Pro, the V2 with the anti-drift. It was a great controller, but the issue I had with it was essentially it came down to having to run the IQ software. Now this is the GameSir Nexus software. There's two ways that you can set up this controller, and you could do it either by, let's say for instance, if you don't have this app installed at all, you can hold the M key and then either your L1 or L5, one of these two, or your L4s, and you can actually reprogram it to be whatever you'd like, right? So the button will start flashing, and that lets you know that essentially you've activated the ability to reprogram that key to any of your face buttons here. So the polling rate on this controller is you can do 250 hertz, 500 hertz, or you could do 1000 hertz. I have mine on 1000 hertz, and I have the default dead zones. I do have an onboard memory. So for me, if I switch computers or whatever, I don't have to do anything. It just remembers where I was at. Now, what you can do is you can actually hold the M key and any of your face buttons. So I was going to say triangle like I'm on my PlayStation. So Y, X, A, or B, and you can actually switch between any of your profiles. So if you have one for racers, one for whatever you might want, right? If you look over here to the right, that's where I have kind of my binds. So for this one here, I've got, let's see, L4 to B. So my face buttons, I wish there was a couple things I wish. I'll get into it. I wish that there were more buttons on the back, but as far as my A and B, I have them programmed to my L4s. So with that being said, whenever I go ahead and I press this right here, it's going to slide. This right here is going to jump, right? And then for me up top, and I did the same thing with the Razor. Instead of having to reach all the way across, because I feel like reaching on the Xbox controller is a lot less convenient than on the PlayStation. I programmed these two because my fingers more naturally land here. So my L5 and my R5, I just have it right here, and I reprogrammed it to RB, LB. So instead of having to reach all the way up, I just go ahead and click these, and it does it for me. So a couple things that I do like about the controller, for those of you that have been following the whole journey, which there really hasn't been much of a journey as far as documentation. It's just been the first video when I first got it. The the package arrived in shambles. I'll link it, but it's on the channel. It's like the D-pad was all off the rocker. It wasn't actually secured. It just got, the box was really beat up. So that's what happened to this when I first got it. Now the control freaks that I'm using are the PlayStation ones. I think they're really good. I like them. So they fit real nice. They don't come off. And the Xbox ones were just a little too tight. Like, I don't think you were able to get them on. So when I saw the PlayStation ones, they went right on. I got a cold too, so double the fun. But yeah, this is it for the software. You can do all your firmware updates if you want to. You could do, you know, reset it to default. You could test some things out. So you have like a button where you initiate like a test mode, and then you can actually hit just back. So I'm gonna close out of that. We're gonna launch a game, and we'll finish up the rest of this. Where's my little duty of call? Switch this real quick. Alright, so we'll launch this. But while it's launching, a couple things I'll call out. This thing does come with a dock, which was really, really nice. So when you're not using the controller, you just rest it in here. Now it is really, really weak. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna rest it on here for now. You see the white light, it turned on, and as soon as you move just a little bit, you'll see the light actually cut off for the controller, so the control's back on. So if anything bumps it on your desk, you might think that you're good to go and that the controller's charging, and then come to find out it's not. It's just running in the background, so it's just on the whole time. So, of course, Call of Duty wants to restart. This game is wild, man. All right, let me get this going. But yeah, that's one of the things I didn't like about that, is that, again, how it does that. I wish that it just worked out the box. So that's just one of those things you can't really control. So while this installs my shaders, I went ahead and threw on the NVIDIA hotfix driver. We'll see what happens with this. But this isn't really going to be like a benchmark or anything like that. It's just we're just going to chill and talk for a little bit. Other cool things I do like about the controller, because the dock was one thing I didn't like. Depending on who you are, you might feel like this controller is cheap. It's really, really light, which makes it kind of feel that way. But then some of the finishes are premium, like this rubberized grip here, which you can replace. You can take the faceplate off. And as far as connectivity, because I didn't talk about that yet, you can connect this to the Xbox via a wire, right? It also has this little cable retainer, which I think is really cool, right? So if you want to, for some reason, use a cable, but you don't want it to fall out, you can just go ahead and secure it this way. So I think that's a nice little touch. I leave it because it's so little on there and it doesn't really impact my experience, so I just leave it. But yeah, the build quality, some people might feel like is cheap, but I have put this thing through its paces. Played a ton of. I got this controller, like when it came out. So I think it's been out like 4 months, maybe like 3 or 4 months. But I got it like the week it became available. And I've been playing not really too much single player games, but like Battlefield beta, the Black Ops 7 beta, Black Ops 7 the launch, Battlefield launch. Whenever you see any of my videos in the last few months where I'm using a controller, this is the one I've been using. So just to give you an idea, I didn't just fire it up and make a video after like 15 minutes of using it. And these thumbsticks are dirty because I had it on the GOAT, the DualSense Edge before. So I went to GameStop and got this because we're still waiting on shaders. But I went to GameStop and got this their version of Control Freaks. They're really nice. I got it for the Xbox and I got it for the PlayStation. They're like $10. They're really nice. They're cool. Feel good. But I took them the ones off of that, and I was using the scuff ones, but it just felt like a little too narrow. So I went and moved the ones I had on the DualSense Edge to this one. And I don't know, I just love the way it feels, man. This is probably the best feeling controller I've had. So as far as controllers go, and I've had the Elite, I've had that Scuff, Envision I talked about. So this is probably the best feeling one. The other thing I like about the grip is that it actually comes down and actually comes down and covers the full area of my hand, right? So for some controllers like the Razer, my pinkies are kind of left floating, and it's a great controller, but the fact that my pinkies left floating is kind of like leaves a little to be desired. So this here we're gonna run through. So it looks like my profile is not loaded because I went into the GameSir Nexus software. But again, if I know last time I tried this, it was I was trying to hit A, but it's actually M. Oh, let me take this down. Yeah, I'm cooked. Yeah, one more I can get him. Nah, I can't get him. But so that's how quick and easy it is, and that's how it should be. And that's one of the things that I think my whole day I could do better. They're about to have all those little drones out. And by the way, I'm not good with controller. But yeah. Here they come. And they have little shields. Back in the day, just like tap tap gone. But yeah. Where's that? I've completely lost my train of thought. It's okay. It'll come back to me. As far as the controller, man, great controller overall. The price point is super low in my opinion. It's only $80, but it's worth a lot more than that if you're into like the only thing I said is missing is the extra buttons on the back. I'm cooked. He's gonna get me. See, mouse and keyboard, I don't miss that. I don't miss that. What did we step into? What's this guy doing? 26 and 4. Jesus, bro. That's for me. I knew it was for me as soon as I saw it turning. But yeah, buttons are pretty quiet too. And yeah, face buttons are clicky. Forgot to talk about the actual buttons. I'm terrible at reviewing controllers, by the way, because I don't really play on controller that much anymore. But I used to play competitive way back in the day. PS4 days, I used to play Infinite Warfare. game battles. So I was once good, and that's when I used the strike pack, mainly because with the strike pack you could go to Walmart, get another controller, get another base PS4 controller, and then you'd be back up and running again. So versus like Scuff, you gotta wait like a month if your controller broke. So I didn't like that. So I've always been trying to get alternatives. But yeah, face buttons are clicky. Back buttons are a little bit soft, right? So they're like traditional keys or traditional buttons. And yeah, overall, great controller. Who's shooting at me? Ah, that sucks to suck, bro. He got me. So I recommend it. So this is gonna be whenever somebody asks me for like what controller do I recommend for the few times that I play. I don't know what happened, but whenever somebody asks me for the few times that I play, you know what controller I recommend, I'm gonna recommend this one mainly because of those things I said. The price point is amazing, right? So 80 bucks. It's only a few more dollars than your standard controller. Oh, what is he doing? Gone. Only a few more bucks than a regular controller would be. And the value that you get from it is significantly better in my opinion. So being able to have your 2 buttons in the back, and you can actually pick this up. I think with Amazon they have the Xbox version that is actually $100, but it's actually wireless on Xbox as well. So you have kind of the best of both worlds, because the one I have, the $80 one, is just going to be wireless on PC, right, with a dongle. So my dongle is actually inside of the stand that I showed you earlier. So I just have it in the back, and I have the cable kind of wound up because I don't know. This is how I have it set up on my desk. That's a KVM switch that is plugged into as well. So whenever I switch PCs, I just press a button, and my mouse, my mic, my keyboard's plugged to the monitor, and a couple other accessories, they all switch over. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, the Xbox One is $100, and it's a wireless Xbox controller. So that one, I think, is what this should have been. They should all just be the same thing. Oh, damn, you fucked me up. But for whatever reason, they elected to go wired on this one, which to me was kind of annoying, but well marketed as far as, hey, this is wired on Xbox, wireless for PC, unlike the 8-bit do. So I had an 8-bit do, the Xbox One, and it felt great too. And I got it on Amazon, but the issue was I thought it was just going to be, my all-in-one, because I was getting a controller for college football. And then I found out on Xbox it was wired only. So I was like, that's not going to work. So yeah, I don't know how we do. How did we do? 14. Don't judge. All right, so hopefully this review helps some of y'all out. I'll put a link in the description if you want to buy it, and then give me some kickback through Amazon, or if you find it cheaper somewhere else, then get it there. I know they're doing a Black Friday deal where it's $72 directly on the GameSir website. So I'm gonna put the manual link. That way, if you want to, poke around and take a look at the manual, or whatever you want to do there. And I also put the link to the unboxing, which was crazy because that one is like I opened it up and it just like fell out. So that was kind of wild to me. All right, with that, I'm gonna cut out. Hopefully, y'all have a good night. Easy.